We're on.
Hey, this is John. How you doing? Welcome to my kitchen. My friends down here in Florida have started something that's called Stovetop Hero. And what they're doing is each month they're putting together a meal in their own kitchen that they're going to post up on YouTube. This month the category was Italian food. I've been thinking about it all day, so what I thought I'd do, instead of trying to cook something fancy for a dinner party, it's a Monday night down here in South Florida, I thought I'd just do a regular, every night family meal. So, as always, you got to start off with a good beer. Tonight I'm drinking St. Pauli Girl in my Piccadilly pub glass for all of you from Westboro. So, I'm going to start here in just a second. Right now, what you're looking at is what I'm going to cook is going to be a Italian sausage and pepper with a Hungarian flair. Normally I go ahead and I'd use my Italian sausage, hot, and the sweet sausage. But tonight what I'm going to use is the Hungarian sausage and some churrasco sausage. Hungarian sausage is a little bit spicier of a sausage, loaded with paprika, and the churrasco is a Brazilian type sausage. So, if you give me just a couple more minutes, I'm going to go ahead and keep getting everything ready, and I'll be back in just a second. Cheers. Okay, hey, I'm back again. My wordsmith wife, she's just corrected me. The sausage is actually chorizo sausage, not churrasco. Churrasco is a Spanish steak. So let's start with the ingredients, what we have tonight. We're going to go ahead and start with a little bit of cayenne pepper. We have chili powder. We have red pepper. We have some coriander. We have cumin. And we also have vegeta. Vegeta is a European spice that our friends Ivana and Duda turned us on to. What's different about this seasoned salt is that there's actually dried vegetables inside the seasoned salt. Adds a really nice flavor whenever you're doing soups or sausage and peppers. I put it in a lot of things that I'm cooking. I'm going to have the red peppers tonight. This is just what I had left over in my fridge. We have some green peppers, some flat leaf parsley, our sausage, and a Vidalia onion. We're also going to use a little bit of the red wine. I'm using the Coastline tonight. It's what I had in my fridge. It's a good wine. It's a decent wine. It's a cab. The secret with wine when you're cooking with the wine is that anything you're cooking with, you should always go ahead and use a wine that you drink. If you don't like to drink it, you're not going to like it in your food. That's what my mom says. Thanks, Mom. So here we go. What we're going to start doing first is we're going to start by clearing our cutting board a little bit of all this mess. And start with the onion. Cutting an onion is real simple. A lot of you guys are master cooks, or at least regular cooks. One of my friends always have, by the way, compost. It's a great thing. You can set one up in your backyard. Peeling an onion, real simple. If you just put a cut down the side, you can peel off that outer skin. Real easy. You're not going to waste too much of your onion when you go ahead and you do that. And you're going to be able to move forward. I know that sounds simple to those of you who cook a lot, but I know that one of my friends was at our house not too long ago, and he was really surprised at just how easy that was. They always try to cut it in half and peel it, and they lose a lot of onion like that. So we're going to slice that in half, and then we're just going to simply cut half. Okay, once I have that sliced up, I want to go ahead and heat my pan up. Initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a medium heat, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Again, this isn't a fancy dinner. This is just an any night meal that you can make for your family. It's going to be a one-pot meal, and it's going to be pretty easy. So while we're letting this heat up, why don't we go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back. It's still heating up, but I figured I'd come back because I'm going to do a little bit more prep work now. I don't know if I mentioned before, we are going to go ahead and use garlic. Right now I have one clove. I might go ahead and add another clove later on. I am using whole cloves, but a lot of times when I'm cooking regular night meal, I have the pre-sliced and chopped garlic in the fridge as well that I would be a go-to for an easy, quick meal. Like they taught you in Goodfellas, if any of you were a Goodfellas fan, to the key to a good sauce or good flavor in the garlic is to always slice it real thin. So I'm going to go ahead and try to slice that down as thin as possible, and I'm going to go ahead and chop it up from there as well. Just using a little paring knife. Easy to handle for something small like this. Slice it in half and then slice it in half again. That should be plenty of garlic now that I'm looking at it. With my peppers, I always like to just break my peppers up whole instead of cutting them down. That way it has a little bit of a better look to it and maybe a better flavor. With the peppers, I always just pop the middle out, crack them in half. Again, the centers can go right into the compost. Wash them off to make sure you get all the seeds out. Used olive oil just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Not sure if you can see that or not. It's a little bit wet, but not too wet. Start putting some of these onions in. Going to want to go ahead and caramelize our onions first. So we're going to cook them at a lower heat. I'm still trying to get used to my oven. It's a new oven, so it's a radiant heat, flat top. I have it set on a 4 right now, so I'm going to start cooking that down. I'm going to go back and keep cutting up my peppers. The garlic went in with the onions. Normally I wouldn't do that. Normally I cook the onions down first and then put the garlic in last so the garlic didn't get too crisp, but God gave me big hands and it all just went in the pot at once. Oops. The sausage, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut that down into little rings. Again, like I said, normally I would use the Italian sausage, a mixture of the hot and the spicy. I'm cooking for 4 people. I like to have a little bit left over for snacks. So typically I would use maybe 6 Italian sausage. Again, mixture of the hot and the spicy. With these types of sausage, when you cut them, it's nice and smooth, unlike the Italian sausage. So they're going to cook a little bit different. And really, these are already cooked anyway, or smoked sausages. So you're not going to have to cook them too much, but everything you do cook is going to go ahead and add a nice flavor to the bottom of the pan. Let's check on the onions. You want to make sure they keep spinning them so that you don't go ahead and burn them on the bottom. These seem to be cooking a little bit quick, so I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. I think I just heard a little berry talking to me. Pixie-like woman standing on a chair right now. Normally we go ahead and we serve this with the rice. You want to get fancy, you can use a long grain, you can use any type of rice you want. It's Monday night, I'm using a white rice. With rice, I'm not a big guy on measuring different things. So with the water, you use twice as much water as you're using rice. Easy as that. Butter, I was watching Mike, I watched your video the other night. Like you said, butter makes everything taste better. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a little bit of butter in our rice so it doesn't stick. A little bit. Okay, we're going to come over to the stove now. The onions, you can see they're starting to come down. They're starting to get all nice and clear. You can see them starting to brown up as well. Okay, those are starting to caramelize real nice. Because of the fact that we're going to add the peppers, we'll go ahead and we'll put those in now as well. Now that the onions are about halfway being done. What's going to happen is the peppers are going to cook down when we start to put the juice in later on, juice being wine, and that's going to actually act as your thickener. My rice pan is on. I got the butter starting to melt. My wife just said to me, Tammy, say hi, Tammy.
Hi.
She just said, gee, you don't put the rice in the water when you're starting to boil it? And my answer is no. I always boil the water first and then add the rice afterwards. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. It's just the way that I like to do it. Now that you put the peppers in with the onions, you want to make sure you keep it stirred, because here's where the dangerous part where things start to burn comes in. Because the peppers are going to start to cover up your onions, so you won't actually see those burning on the bottom. I like to cook all my vegetables first because it's going to season the pan. And I'll cook them all down before I start putting my spices in. You can see those are starting to cook down now. You start to see what great colors are coming out. Regular, every night dinner, I'm going to say that again, but if this were more of a dinner party, I might use yellow peppers, some orange peppers, red peppers, just to add a lot of nice color to it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my parsley real quick. Fresh parsley is always going to be the key to a really good sausage and peppers. You want to always try to use fresh herbs whenever you can. A lot of you know I just moved into my house, so I don't have my herb garden up and going yet. So again, this is just a fresh flat leaf parsley that I purchased at the store. And we're going to go ahead and I just ripped off a big handful of it, and then from there I'll just chop it down. Okay, so our onions, you can see now they've got a really nice clear look to them. They're starting to get a little bit golden brown. My peppers are nice and shiny. The color is really starting to pop out in them. I'm not going to cook these down too much more now because I don't want to get them too cooked right from the very beginning. So I'm going to take these out and I'm just going to put them in a second bowl. Okay, see all that nice juice in the bottom of the pan? That's going to really add a nice seasoning, and it's actually going to keep the pan a little bit slick for when I go ahead and I put my sausage in. I'm going to turn my pot back up a little bit. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. Okay, my sausage, you can see they're starting to get nice and golden brown now. You can see the bottom of the pan really starting to get a lot of flavor on it. My veggies are still here on the side. Because this is live and, you know, you can't control live TV, I forgot something. Mushrooms. So I got to do my mushrooms still. My salad spinner is probably one of my favorite kitchen utensils. Girls, if you want to make you guys happy, buy them a salad spinner. I mean, that's all I can say. I washed these mushrooms down, I put them in the salad spinner, went ahead and spun them a couple times, and now they're perfect dry, getting ready to be cooked. There's nothing worse than a wet mushroom. Okay, I just put some butter in the pan. I'm going to go ahead and cook down my mushrooms right now. I went ahead, I've already taken my sausage out, I just put everything all together. Again, it's all about trying to minimize the mess that we're making tonight. Okay, mushrooms are now golden brown. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to push them out to the side. And I'm going to start to dry roast some of my seasonings. The chili powder. There's your cumin. There's your coriander. There's your red pepper. Nope, that's not red pepper. Hold on, that is the cayenne pepper. Might add paprika to this. See how it's getting all nice and stuck at the bottom of the pan. Really releasing those flavors. Okay. Again, I'm going to give that about 35 seconds or so before I take and I add everything else back in. I'm going to stir it around. Stir it around. Ah, the smell of all this in the house. Now come here, look at this real quick. See how the pan, all that good brown is starting to come off the bottom of the pan. It's really starting to add a lot of the flavor back into. See how nice and silver that is again? Okay, so from beginning to end right now, we've probably spent about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes in the prep since I started making the video to where we are right now. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the wine. I want to add enough wine to cover the bottom, maybe an inch. And I'm going to go ahead and let that simmer and start to cook everything down, because this is where the peppers will start to break down, those onions will start to break down, the mushrooms are going to soak in a lot of the good flavor. For you moms on a regular weeknight, this is when you go ahead, you put the cover back on it, you put the kids in the tub, you walk away from the stove for a little while, you get everything done that you need to get done for the school night. And we'll be back. Okay, this is it. Final step. We're all done. Kids are out of the bath. It's all good. It's time to go ahead. It's time for dinner. The rice is all done. You can see there's no water left in the bottom. Some of us have bigger kitchens than other and more serving room than other. Myself, I have limited space on my actual countertop. Get a couple nice red peppers, just add a little bit of coke. Because this is for show, we'll go ahead and make it pretty. There you go. Monday night family dinner, Hungarian sausage and peppers, or Italian sausage and peppers with a Hungarian twist. We got some rat-a-tat-tat on the radio. And if you look around the kitchen, this is all the mess that we have to deal with tonight. So, stovetop gyro. Here we go. First shot. I'm John. This is my sausage and peppers. Have a great night.